So we're gonna talk about, building from that point on. We're gonna talk about how, how you leverage and build a really successful business, Kenny. It's in the middle, yeah. Yeah. So this is for all of you guys to answer. To what kind of tasks can you delegate to free up your time? You guys run a really successful business, all of you guys. So what do you delegate? What do you to make sure you leverage your time to make sure you can do your high impact activities that you do?
Pretty much everything. Everything but negotiation is what I say. Negotiation is your skill set. That's what you're licensed for, to represent your people well. But I think from client events to administrative, that's the obvious, to even out showing assistant, you can leverage everything.
I think we all run amazing businesses. It's all relative. If I look at his numbers, I think it puts us everybody else to shame in the numbers, but we all run great businesses in our own world. As an individual agent, you're doing $2 million, that's fantastic. Anything that we can do in our careers that we can help us get time. I think what Emily was saying, anything that you can delegate, anything that can buy you time. Time is the ultimate thing that you want to maximize on. So administrative, content creation, transactional stuff, video, deposits, lead follow-ups, data entry, anything and everything that you can think of. I think today, most of the agents are doing about 90% of the things that they should not be doing that reflects in the numbers and the business that we're working on. If we focus more on that, it'll make a big impact. And I'll also throw, we can all talk a lot of theory on a panel like this, but I'll throw some exact things that you should be looking at. Look into things that are out there into automation. I think there's a company called automate.io, otter.ai. If you're not able to go to a meeting, send your artificial intelligence assistant to the meeting so you can get the notes from the meeting. That is a huge, huge way of duplicating yourself in multiple places. Asana, use Zoom calls more often, use Calendly more often, use Agently, the software more often, task management systems, Zapier. Look into all those things that can help you save some time and automate things.
Yeah, I'll say anything you do more than, there's a couple ways to look at it. I've seen during a week, write down all the things you're doing and see if that's something you like doing or not doing. I truly believe if you're doing something multiple times, you can probably have someone else do it. And if someone can do the work as, you've probably heard it somewhere, but if someone can do as good as you, 80% of that, you should have them do it because they can constantly improve on it, so you can spend your time doing more things. For us, I used to use the checklists and all that, but now that I have my leadership team, now all the people that were my assistant at some point, now they all have their assistants under them running departments now. The assistants are involved in the departments, and now we have 15 virtual assistants. Their average pay is $6 an hour probably. So how do I make $1,000 an hour and pay out this person $100 an hour, and her assistant might be $50 an hour, and then give her 2 virtual assistants $5 an hour, whatever. So now I just hey, I want this done. Well, they're gonna be trying to figure out how to not do the job too. So as you're building it out, get more leverage. I would try to, hire an assistant and I'm not going to dispersonalize type stuff like that, but hire an assistant and give them all your ideas and see which ones they can run with. And over time, I run my entire company off 4 meetings a week. This week, I'm on 0 meetings with my company. So you don't need to do a lot. Running a team is different, I guess. But you don't have to constantly be a control freak about everything. I'm actually when I have free time, I'm always stressed out because I have so much free time that I don't know what to do with them. But then I try to find my free time to save up more free time.
Yeah, so it sounds like you guys learn to let it go and delegate, right? And so what system do you guys use to ensure that you have the consistency and also able to scale your business? Emily.
We're the spreadsheet queens where I'm at. Obviously Brevity for me is, all encompassing, but there's many CRMs out there. I've worked with many in the past that can do all the same thing. I think you just pick a system and you work it, and the system then rewards you. But if you don't work the system, it doesn't matter what the system is.
And Kenny, what about you?
When I was more in the transaction or being more hands-on, I was using Asana, but right now we use Monday at a high level. We've looked into stuff like ClickUp or Notion, but it's all kind of the same. You want a checklist of the things you need to do, the date you would like it to be done by, and who it's assigned to. So my goal is just throw a bunch of stuff on a spreadsheet. It could be a fancy spreadsheet, and have someone figure it out.
That makes sense. And then to all of you guys, what kind of technology tools do you guys use to like streamline everything? Because you have all different people and all different transaction. What do you do? How you make sure it's all in sync?
We use Slack. I have my entire network, EXP network, on Slack, and my entire team on it. So all these like projects, if it's a marketing project, if it's a business project, whatever, then we have full chats and conversation inside of Slack about that project. So that's like currently, because we're kind of more so further and built out. We don't have a lot of new projects all the time. But there's a new marketing idea, then they'll just, this sounds so simple, but now we only started recently, a couple months ago, started recognizing our top 10 agents. Like people have been doing that for years, but we did that and our agents love it. But then we had to have full conversation about how we want it to look like. And I'm not gonna do that through email. We did it through Slack, so there's like long threads every month, like, hey, I want another one. And then we talk about it.
Go on.
We use, I wrote some things down. We use Trello that helps our team follow a step-by-step process, who's going to take accountability of that project. We do use Asana. We also use Monday.com. We do use Slack so that we can keep track with not too many emails. They get bombarded. We also use Zapier for a lot of data entry in our team. We use HubSpot, QuickBooks, Zoom for all the meetings, and Hootsuite for social media. We also created our own proprietary artificial intelligence automation system for scheduling. We do a lot of rentals. We do about 1,500 rentals a year. That requires a lot of coordination. So we end up building our own that we built over a period of the last 3 or 4 years. So whatever works for you. We also use Open to Close as a transaction management system that our team is in there as well. So tons of technology out there. If anybody is doing their own transaction management right now, anybody does their own transaction management? Good. Anybody doing their own content creation and their own videos? I think we should all stop. Honestly, we should all stop. That is not what makes us money. That is an outsourced job. Somebody in Philippines or India or across the country or in your office behind a desk can do those things. So to focus on money-making activities is what will really help us define our next 3 to 5 years. We get sucked into doing things what we are comfortable doing and we like doing, not necessarily our money-making activities.
Yeah, I think, because I'm Tom Ferry like a decade ago, I still preach it to my team. For your calendar, 80% of your time should be spent on money-making activities, client interfacing, but 20% of your time should be on business building. Like how do you create more systems or learn a technology to save you time and build a business to be bigger. For my calendar, I color code everything. My calendar is pretty insane, been doing it for years. Like blue is just my regular stuff and green is the money, the working on your business stuff.
Emily?
Green is your on the.
Yeah, my calendar by default is blue, so I don't.
My green is money-making activities. I pretty much use all the same things that they use. CapCut is one that they didn't mention for social media, video. It's a really nice app. It could make your listing stand out for very, very little time and effort on your part. And Google Workspace, I mean, even though probably everybody has that, I think there's a lot that it offers, and most people only know the email portion of it. So, and it comes with your email. So if you have Google Workspace, I would totally dive into that a little bit, because Google Ads and all those Google Forms, Google Docs, Google Spread. I mean, if it's free, it's for me. That's how I roll. So I don't spend all that money on all those things. I go with the free stuff and make it work.
Awesome. Go, this is to you. How do you leverage your network to constantly expand your services?
I'm a king at that. I love to talk about that. Even in this event, hats off to you for putting out such an amazing event. But you brought in 2 leveraged partners right in the front that you were able to use from your network to be able to help host things. I do the same thing. Early on in my career, I realized that I can't do this by myself. So I have to go use leverage from my partners. Look at a transaction. cut that into 20 pieces of every step of every vendor that you use, from the biggest one of title, mortgage, insurance, property management, repair and maintenance, home warranty, home inspector, going deeper into the concierge services, transaction management company. You can go deeper and deeper to the point of somebody who's delivering and transferring your address at post office. There's so many other opportunities. So I have written them down or early on in my career to say, who did I transact with? And then how do I go to each one of them asking them for assistance in helping grow my business? In return, how can I help grow their business? Because what people love is building relationships and working in partnerships, because as others are also trying to grow their business like we are, why not work in partnership when we can help each other? So I've been able to either partner or eventually at some point, I'll be talking more about how to create wealth and passive income through the other opportunities as well. So that I've been just teaming up with everybody from a transactional perspective, one by one, and I think everybody should be doing that too.
Emily?
Well, since I was a little kid, I've always been like a bargainer. So like in school, I would always like bargain my orange drink for chocolate milk because my mom never wanted me to drink the chocolate milk. She wanted me to drink the orange juice, but it was never orange juice, it was orange drink, which I hated. But that's besides the point. But since I like to barter, I kind of live by like that theory of like, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. It's kind of like an old school saying, but it definitely works. So all of the vendors that we use, we make sure that they are aware that we push them out on social media, whether it's like our inspectors, we have a whole preferred vendors list, and we invite them into our client events and let them mingle with our clients, and in return, they give us back referrals. And that's kind of how I've always expanded my business, was through, I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
And then how do you guys maximize your SOI, sphere of influence, and your referral partner to increase your business? Okay. Yeah, this is to everybody.
I mean, I only do like a dozen deals a year. Most of my referrals are from agents, so I'll talk about that. Like I do a lot of social media stories, just keep engaged. Do a lot of these networking events. I think it's my 6th event in like 5 weeks, maybe. Always collecting Blink digital cards, adding everyone on Instagram, and just trying to stay in touch with people. And trying to get in front of rooms as much as I can so I can get build my network.
Sometimes success is bad as well. A lot of my personal SOI over a period of time, since I personally stopped doing the transactions myself, I started realizing that I've been invited to a friend's housewarming party. He just spent $2.2 million, and I was there as a guest and not as the agent who was helping him. And usually when the conversation came up, and I was shy in asking it, and then I would ask them indirectly, and like, how come I didn't get the opportunity? And his answer was very simple. I thought you were too busy. You're not a big shot. I see you on doing all these big companies and all this. When I was doing social media, was to say that our companies are successful so we can get more business, not to lose business. So sometimes we have to be careful of what the message is going out there. So that I changed over the last few years, and I said I have to be more purposeful in explaining to people that I have leverage more than how big my business is, so that they can rely on me to say, I'm going to rely on Gaurav and his team for getting a project done, as compared to I only am going to get Gaurav, and it's going to be bad, and it's going to feel awkward to ask him to go have my son look at a $3,000 rental, but the relationship is lost because then they use another agent. So I've been more purposeful about telling everybody how good our team is and how good our processes is, as compared to building the business around my name. And that has changed again in helping build. And I still don't sell. I probably end up selling 4 or 5 homes a year by myself just because I like doing it and being in the market. But the business is increasing again with my SOI. So staying in touch with them was extremely important. And not realizing what they were thinking was an aha moment for me a few years ago.
I mean, for me, Sphere is about being in a deep relationship with someone. I don't consider all my past clients a part of my sphere. But the people that I'm in deep relationship with, like, they know what I'm trying to accomplish. They know I'm out for world domination. They know, they can see what I'm doing, and when we have our conversations, they're like, how come you weren't out at dinner? How come I didn't see you on the beach all summer? And I'm like, this is what I'm trying to build. And I think by being in deep relationship, other opportunities open up for everyone. You know, when you know someone and you know where they want to go and they know where you want to go, I think opportunities tend to open themselves up, and that's how you can leverage your sphere. Like I had a really good client became my friend. He owned a busing company. He had, I think, like 150 bus drivers. And I was telling him what my plan was and what my goals were for next year. And I said, what are your goals? And he's like, well, I need more bus drivers. And I said, well, what do you offer your bus drivers to get them to come and work for you? And he said, well, that's what we're working on. We want to give them more value, like more perks. So I said, well, what if I come in and I talk about, you know, buying a home and getting, you know, tax deduction? Like how many of them own a home? What could that look like? How could that be life-changing for them? You know, I can teach them about how to buy real estate, how to buy an investment property, how to qualify for a loan, even if they don't have the income to support it. I'm like, do you think they would like that? And he's like, yeah, they would. And so at their next monthly meeting, I went in, I told everybody in the room about a little bit about real estate, and we had a little line at the end of the thing, and we helped a lot of people there. It helped him, it helped me. It was a win-win scenario for everyone.
Makes sense.
You have to agree with what you said too at a high level, because as like many of us are trying to grow our business bigger and growing teams. I'm probably the worst example of that. Like many of my past clients don't work with me because I've been trying to be busy selling 1,000 homes for many years now and have been successful. So my past clients know they hired me; they're not gonna get me. So as you're kind of building your team, you want to, or do whatever you're doing, you don't want to be in luxury space, make sure people continue to think of you as a luxury person. If you're, it was on the panel last week with a Canadian agent, big agents, like she's starting to lose some clients because all she talks, her content now is driven towards team and the brand, right? The overall brand. She stopped doing videos with talking heads and stuff. Like, realize what got you there will continue to get you there. So if you're a producing agent and you want to run a team, you still got to do the things that made you a very successful producing agent. Because if you start shifting to the team side, then your clients are going to see that you're focused on the team. And that's what my content, I don't have any content that really caters to buyers. So I rarely get buyers reaching out to me.
Yeah.
So you just got to be very careful what your brand is. And I would say, as your whatever brand is, like get feedback from your friends and family. They can give you transparent. Hey, you look like you're really busy, or you look like you're too luxury for me. I'm trying to buy a $600,000 house. All you've been showing is $2 million showings. You might not even actually be selling the house. You're just showing it, right? So you just got to think of that.
Yeah, definitely.
If I just add one more thing, that people love doing business with people that they like and admire and love and have been in business with before. So one biggest opportunity that we have, which I feel I lacked in between, it could be ego, it could be busyness, is I stopped asking for business.
Yeah.
I think we forget that it's not embarrassing. It should be a proud feeling that we can help you. And with that confidence, if we go to people in our sphere in the past and say, I'm here as an expert to help you navigate through any challenges you may have in real estate, is there an opportunity where I can help you and assist you, or do you know of anyone that I can help and assist you? And I'm trying to grow my business and have a world domination as well. It's a proud feeling. I'm trying to build something big, and I'm willing to work hard and harder compared to anybody else. So go and ask for business as well. You'll see how many people will actually give you the support because they want to help you. You just never asked.
All right, so we got to wrap it in like 3 minutes, each of you guys. One thing that they can take away, the audience can take away, that was something they should consider be doing. From a solo agent perspective to the team perspective.
I can go again. What changed my life in my business was being able to get more time in a day. So I always joked around in the past, I only have 25 hours a day and 8 days a week to work. I can't find any more time after that, which was being sarcastic already that I'm stretched so thin, I don't know what else to do. Then a good friend of mine once told me, you need an executive assistant. And I pushed and pushed and pushed and said, it's not worth it, it's not the money that I can afford, I don't want to spend that kind of money. And it came down to, at one point I heard, I'm from KW, but I heard Gary Keller someone say that it's not about can you afford them, it's if you can afford not to. So that hit home for me. And there was an exercise that somebody told me to do, and which I like to pass on to everybody else as well. I think Kenny touched on it, on the green, blue, and stuff. So think of simple thing and saying, on a daily basis, for the next 30 days, be very diligent about doing it. Every day, at every hour, write down what you did in the last 1 hour. If you can break it down to 15 minutes, sounds silly, but if you break it down in 15 minutes and saying, I went and got a cup of coffee, or I made a phone call, or I went online to check the price of an airline to go fly for my vacation, write down every 15 minutes for the whole day, from the time you wake up till the time you go to bed, week, 7 days a week, and 30 days. And then you go mark them, like what they both were saying. And it seems like we all have gone through this journey of understanding it. Red, green, I put an orange. Red is stop doing it, I can give this to somebody else to do it. Orange means it is a money-making activity, but somebody else can do it in my team, doesn't have to be me. Green means this is something I should be focusing on. And I realized I wasn't doing more than 10 or 15% of the day in purposefully helping grow my business. And then I ended up getting an executive assistant, which helped take a lot of those reds away and opened up my calendar. I'm running more big businesses now than I was 5-6 years ago, but I have more time today available than I had then. Going back in time, I think that was the best thing I did. Individual agent or a large team owner, you all can do this to maximize time for yourself.
So my calendar for orange is fun. Majority of my calendar is actually orange. We're just talking about that. I'll say the most successful people are the ones that can think, like, see an idea and actually execute on it. Like, instead of just pondering over it, am I going to do this? A lot of times you're spending more time thinking about it than doing it. And it got this from Gary Vee. Like, an example too is like, if you could make, I'll use a larger term, like, if there's 50 decisions in a month to make, and you can make 30 good ones and 20 bad ones, the 20 bad ones might be cost, money, time, whatnot. You still made 30 good decisions to push your business or your personal life forward, versus another person might in the entire month spend their time with 20 decisions and make 15 good ones. Good, like more of their decisions are good percentage-wise, but then you're ahead because you had 30 decisions at 15. So for me, I make a ton of bad decisions all the time. But over time, I don't make that many decisions because there's not many projects anymore. But anything I do usually will, for the most part, will move the company forward. So you gotta just be quicker to do things and not just sit around. And with the market changing every freaking quarter, like with these rates or whatever, inventory or something, or BBRC or new contract, whatever, like you need to just say, this is how it's gonna affect me, this is what I think I'm gonna do. If I move forward on this and it doesn't work, I bounce back, I'll try it this way. You still probably make more progress than someone else just sitting there waiting to figure out what's gonna be best for me. Like, we built our company hired 100 people through COVID, and I'm not gonna go with my background, like other stuff, but every time there's been something that's changed in the environment, we seize the opportunity. I don't know how we're gonna seize this election thing, but it's just how you talk to your clients about it, and spin it to be a good thing. You know what, prices go up. I saw that case about that. Prices go up every year after election. There's more sales that happen because it's been pent up. Maybe that's good. You can spin everything to be positive to make your business better.
Emily?
I mean, all I would say is, since this time of year is the goal planning time of year, if you haven't set your goals, I think for 2025, you should go ahead and do that. Failing to plan is planning to fail. So get your goals. I mean, if you feel even overwhelmed by setting goals, just set an appointment goal. Do you need 2 appointments a week to get that deal under contract or to get that listing? Do you need 4 appointments a week? Do you need 1 appointment a week? Whatever it is, set your intention, put a screensaver so it's in front of you every day, and hit the conversations until you hit the appointment goal. Because nothing else matters besides the appointment. Everybody gets all, worked up over everything else, but if you're not going on appointments, you're not listening, you're not selling property.
Fantastic. And I'm glad you brought that up, because that's actually be the next session. So before we go, just tell them a little bit where you're from, what area you cover.
Oh, sure. I'm Emily Marchese from the Jersey Shore. We're in the bottom 8 counties of South Jersey, but our focus is Atlantic and Cape May County.
I'm Gaurav Gambhir. I'm from Philadelphia and the suburbs of Philadelphia, along with South Jersey in our Jersey, and we do touch a little bit of Delaware as well.
San Francisco Bay Area, everything from San Francisco to Sacramento to Stockton to San Jose. So anything like within an hour and a half of the Bay Area.
Yeah. So you guys have any referral business, definitely look them up, okay? All right, so thank you so much. It was amazing. All right, now, since we brought up about goal setting, oh wait, yep, goal setting. Yep.